Hello and welcome back to WhiteLinesFootball. Jack here today with Lewis.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing another podcast on Premier League predictions, and it's our predictions of like the table and where teams are going to finish. So Lewis, I'm going to start off by asking you, we'll do one at a time.
Yep.
Of who we do first, and then obviously consecutively, Lewis will do first and I do first, and then Lewis will do second, and so on. So I'm going to start, Lewis, by asking you who you think is going to be your Premier League champions this season.
I think it's got to be Man City, innit?
Yes, Man City.
Sort of, obviously, you look at the money they've invested. You look at the squad they had already. Obviously, they've got Guardiola in charge, who we know is a good manager. He didn't have the squad he wanted last year. I think fullbacks play a big role under Guardiola, and obviously last year he had 4 80-year-old fullbacks in Zabaleta and Clichy and Sanya and Kolarov. Obviously, they're all gone now. He's brought in Walker, Mendy, and Danilo. Could be another one in still. For me, he still probably needs a centre-back. You can't always rely on Kompany's fitness. I'm not sure John Stones is good enough yet, but obviously Stones is the player that he wants to have in his defence because of the way he plays, the money they've invested in Stones. They fixed the goalkeeper situation, so it seems, if Edison's going to play. I know he had a bit of a blunder against Manchester United in pre-season, but he does seem a better keeper than Bravo. Obviously up front, they've got Jesus, Aguero. Both Silvers, Bernardo Silva's going to be excellent. Typical Guardiola player. They've obviously got De Bruyne.
Sane was entered the season really well last year.
Yeah, Sane, Sterling, and maybe they need a holding midfielder as well. But they've also got boys that can do the job.
Fernandinho, Gundogan's fit again, isn't he?
Yeah, Gundogan if he's fit as well. There.
Fernandinho always looks solid as well. Obviously, but his disciplinary is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. I think if I was Guardiola, I'd still be. I mean, I know he said he wants a defender. I think, but if I was him, I'd be looking at a centre-back and a holding midfielder, then I think it's good to go, and it's sort of hard to look past him in it, because it's the depth of that attacking talent, and if Kompany's fit especially, the quality they have in defence is just... I just can't look past them, really.
Definitely. I said, obviously a very strong attack.
Did you go Man City as well, then?
I went with Man City as well, I went with Man City to win the league. I think they've got a very strong attack, and obviously they've improved. But the only thing that does concern me maybe was this time last year. I think I might have been saying the same thing. And then Man City,
they did win their first.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think this time last year, I think they were strong favourites again. And maybe possibly Guardiola hasn't really learned as much. I don't know. Last year he might. I know he might disagree. He might have done. But that's the only. But apart from that, I think he's still got a very strong attack. I think he's improving his defensively. I was talking about defensively. I don't know if you'd agree with this or not, but I was contemplating maybe he might look at turning Fernandinho into a bit of a centre half, maybe possibly. He could do. I don't know, because if he struggles to get bodies in, and obviously playing in cups as well, it'd be quite useful if he can possibly adapt him into a more of a footballing sort of centre half. Obviously that wouldn't partner well with John Stones because he's the same sort of defender. But I think obviously he's got to rely that Kompany isn't going to be made of glass as such as he was last year. So maybe he might. I don't know. That was a possibility that I thought he could have done possibly. I think
Fernandinho did play right back quite a bit last season.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he moved Kolarov into centre back as well. So
yeah, that was his style, wasn't it?
Maybe I don't know. I think he will look at another centre back.
Yeah, I think he will. Yeah,
he's just got Mangala's back there, isn't he? But I don't know how much he likes him.
Otamendi,
Stones, Kompany.
I just wonder how much if he'd ever consider that. Really, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's a insight into the management of
Jack
Barkley's brain.
Yeah, could be.
Right, so Man City to win the league. Should we go on to second then?
Yeah, go on for second. I've gone with Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gone with Well, it sounds like you've got a different team.
I've got a different team.
You've got a different team. I said obviously the main change I suppose is the fact that Matic, who was there last year, played quite a big part. But I do feel as though he wasn't really singled out as much as the others, sort of thing, as such. So it could have been a bigger miss if it was someone like Kante who went.
It was, wasn't it? Because I think people were saying when Kante and Matic were playing together, it's two defensive midfielders. But I think Matic got either the same amount or more of assists as Coutinho in the league last season.
Yeah, all right.
So going forward, Matic was preferred to Fabregas, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah, he was. He did look quite good going forward. Obviously, considered he's defensively quite strong. But I don't know. I thought every player seemed to get a lot of credit last year. I thought in the Chelsea team, the fact that their defence, Hazard, Costa. But I did think, and obviously Kante. But I did think that I know Matic didn't really get, and so I'm sort of thinking maybe there was better players they could have lost, sort of thing.
Also, they bought Morata.
Yeah, and obviously the big thing obviously is the fact Costa's gone and Morata's gone in.
Well,
and
Costa hasn't gone yet, but
Costa probably is going to be going, isn't he? Yeah,
he's going to go. Yeah.
And so that's obviously the big change, and obviously Costa's mentality, he was more of a bully. He wasn't really such You know, like he got wound up himself. Maybe Morata's going to bring a different style of football, maybe a bit better style of football. And I still think Hazard will have a good season next year.
I think it's so savage from Conte that he's used Costa as his number 9 the whole of last season.
I know, yeah.
Kept him happy.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, he
he
just chucked him.
Yeah, he doesn't want him. I know, like, it makes you wonder that, like, maybe this time last year, if like he had longer, he would have got rid of Costa then. I don't know, whether like something happened during the year, maybe they fell out or something, or maybe he thought he isn't really the type of player that I want. Like, obviously, if it is, then fair play, like getting rid of him. And then obviously he's brought in Morata, he's quite young, isn't he? He's young, isn't he?
Yeah,
and obviously, he was at Real Madrid. He was getting the team at Madrid, wasn't he?
Yeah, every now and again.
Yeah,
he had a really good minutes to goal ratio.
Oh, really?
Madrid,
yeah.
And
so
also
like
at Juventus as well.
Yeah, he was good there, and so obviously, so that's obviously the big change. So yeah, I still think though they're strong as they were last year, kind of thing. Like they brought a good centre half in, haven't they? Like another defender in.
Rudiger, yeah.
Yeah.
Bakayoko, they brought him in as well.
Yeah, like, and I still think they'll be strong like last year. So I've gone with them seconds.
Do you think Chelsea could possibly? Obviously, they used the 3-4-3 so well last year. We saw a lot of teams then evolve into that as well, like Spurs, Arsenal. Do you think Chelsea could possibly go 3-5-2? Because I think, I don't know, maybe Hazard playing behind Batshuayi and Morata, or do you think he'll stick to sort of Hazard and Pedro / Willian behind Morata?
Yeah, possibly. And then like I look at the defence as well, because I know as well as Moses had a good season last year, but I still think as though he was still probably the weak link. I'd still go with sort of thing. So I don't know, like he might do, again, like another insight of my managerial brain. Like I don't know, maybe he might go. I don't know. How do you think about Azpilicueta right wing back, and then Rudiger, Cahill, and Luiz at centre halves?
Yeah.
I don't know really.
Yeah,
but obviously Azpilicueta did well last year at centre half.
Yeah. I think Azpilicueta can play there. I think he's one of the best centre backs in the league. But obviously he's not a centre back that's going to play in a 4. He's going to play on the right side or left side of the 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Rudiger can play there, but I think his first choice is still going to be Moses. But also they were linked with Oxlade-Chamberlain, weren't they? I think he'd fit in well.
Right Chelsea, I know Liverpool. Well, that could work.
Yeah. So my second place, I've gone with Manchester United.
Oh,
I just think, as much as I dislike him and I dislike his management style, I just think Mourinho knows how to win games, doesn't he? I mean, it's a complete contrast to what you see under Ferguson, always trying to go forward, but Mourinho just grinds out results. Obviously, they had trouble scoring goals last season. I think Mkhitaryan is going to pick up, Rashford's going to pick up if he gets a run of games.
Yeah, obviously last year they relied on Ibra's goals a lot, didn't they, Man United? And obviously you just got to hope that either Lukaku gets the same amount of goals, or if he doesn't, then he's got to hope he gets help from the other positions as well, other strikers.
I mean, I think you've got to hope that anyway, but I think the signing of Matic is going to be really good, because he's going to play a different role at Manchester United to what he did at Chelsea. He's probably just going to sit there. He's going to play more the main defensive midfielder role, in my eyes, in a 4-3-3. And then
I think it will allow Pogba to go forward.
That frees up Pogba, definitely. I just think they've got a big squad. Obviously they've got Champions League football, but that's not a change because they were in Europe last season as well. They've got a big squad, haven't they? I mean, you look at the centre-back department, they've got Lindelof, Bailly, they've got Rojo, I know he's injured, but they've got Smalling, Jones, Zabe, however you pronounce it, but Fosu-Mensah, very versatile player. But the list goes on. I don't know, maybe they want a couple of signings, but I just think for different formations as well, they could go 3 at the back, they could go 4-3-3, they could go 4-2-3-1, which is similar anyway, but I just think they've got a big squad and Mourinho knows how to win games, and if they can actually score more goals, because the defensive record's good anyway, it always is under Mourinho, but if they can score more goals, which hopefully Lukaku will help. I know he's got to replace Ibra, but if they do bring Ibra back in January maybe, I think Mkhitaryan's going to have a good season and free up Pogba at the side of Matic, and I just think they're going to go forward, because they did have a good run last season, they just struggled scoring goals, didn't they?
I'll move on to my third. My third's Man United. I just thought, I think it will be quite close up there, sort of thing, like Chelsea United. I think it could go either way. I think, obviously, like you said, about Lukaku, like, obviously having to replace Ibra. I do think maybe Ibra seems to, like, everything's it. Like, I learned the hard way by, like, experiencing everyone getting Ibra in their dream team, and me just there thinking one day he'll stop scoring. I'm sure he'll stop scoring one point, but every time he seems to get the ball, he seems to always score.
Until he got injured.
Yeah. That's what sort of freed me up and allowed me to climb the table, I think. But obviously I don't even know if Lukaku's quite going to score as often as Ibra did. So like maybe that's why I've sort of put him third rather than second.
I think Lukaku.
I do think all rounds they are better.
Yeah, I think Lukaku will be tested with.
Yeah, definitely. And he'll be in Champions League as well, won't he? As well.
Yeah, and at Everton he was a big fish in a small pond, so he sort of had the ego.
Definitely, yeah. I
he's
think,
always the
and
main
obviously
man.
it's not all going to be about him now, is it?
I
Obviously,
mean, he's still going to be the main man.
It still
but-
will be, because they
Yeah.
like a big price tag. Like, still going to expect a lot, but like maybe the pressure might get to him. I don't really feel the pressure at Everton was as such on him because
Nah.
he wasn't like
Such a big team.
yeah, he wasn't such a big team. But so I think maybe like it could get to him, but then again, he does seem to have the attributes that seem to put him as a good striker, doesn't he? Like, he's strong, he's powerful, he's quick. Like, you know, he can like, he's quite, you know, he'll like muscle a player out and muscle a defender out of the way of him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's still a nightmare for a defender to face.
It's because he's got pace and
Obviously.
power.
Yeah,
which is
exactly. Yeah,
a great combination
Vital,
for a forward. Right, my third place then. I've gone with Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, Chelsea. Where are Chelsea?
I think it's hard to choose. It's hard to choose a top 6, isn't it? Maybe
Yeah,
top 7.
I
with
think
Everton
so,
now.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I've gone with Spurs because I just feel like Pochettino's working with that young side. They're getting better. He's a very good manager, one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've lost Walker, which is sort of that. I feel like if you look at Spurs, you've got that 11, and that's all you've got. I mean, they do need more depth, and they haven't made any signings, and they've actually lost someone. Obviously, linked with the likes of Ross Barkley, Damari Gray. I think Damari Gray would be a very good signing. Not too sure about Barkley. They definitely need more players. They can't lose more. I mean, obviously, like Eriksen's been linked with Barcelona. I mean, I know they haven't shortlisted him, but people said it'd be a good fit. I said it'd be a good fit. I still think it would. It doesn't look like they're going to lose Kane or Ali.
No. I don't think Eriksen's going to leave anyway. Either.
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I don't think Eriksen will leave, but if Barcelona come calling,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But I think obviously the main thing for Spurs playing at Wembley,
Definitely.
different stadium. We've seen their struggles last season. They've got to adapt quickly. We'll see how they cope in Europe as well. But obviously they've got a good side. They play nice football. They've got a very solid defence. They need more signings though. Like you did your video a while ago about what's in store for Spurs, and they've done nothing except lost Walker.
No, they haven't done anything. I mean, like, they've been linked with like Barkley, and like, you know, like, and that's gonna be like 35 million, isn't it?
I'm not
Like,
sure.
something like, something like 35 million.
I mean,
And
they've
like,
got the
I'm
money.
thinking like if they're really gonna, if every player they're gonna bring in is gonna be like that price tag, it makes you think it's not gonna be that many players. But okay, so moving on to my fourth place, I've gone with Spurs.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was tossing up Spurs like either fourth or even lower, to be honest. I don't think I was even gonna go higher than fourth. I thought obviously with the squads, like, it's not the strongest obviously, and obviously Wembley's gonna be a massive factor next season. They're gonna have to like really adapt really quickly. But the only sort of thing as a Spurs fan I'm hanging on to is the fact that this time last year they didn't have the strongest squad. They were going into Europe, and like, you know, they didn't have the players that are quite good enough. I'm just hoping that, like, you know, that they finished second last year. Obviously,
Yeah.
they finished second last year. So and I'm just hoping that maybe they can adapt quick enough to do that again. Obviously, Ali and Kane will have to have superb seasons again, like they did last 2 seasons, as will Eriksen. I think
Kane's good because he sort of guarantees goals. You know what I mean?
yeah, hopefully. Like, obviously he's got to do it again, sort of thing. And like,
I think he will.
yeah, obviously, I think Pochettino again is to, if he has to prioritise one, he'll probably prioritise the league. And like,
He'll want to be in the Champions League for when they move into the new stadium.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't really like, obviously with Pochettino, like, I don't know what he's really done in terms of like, not signing like players, sort of thing. Like, personally, I think that obviously with his squads, I was obviously because he was linked with Barcelona, wasn't it, at one point, Pochettino, and like all the big clubs. Like, personally, I feel as though he didn't really make any changes because he was hoping, maybe not hoping, but like expecting to like leave this summer. Maybe
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know.
The way I'd see it is the Spurs team. Like, obviously they're so young, but they're becoming the now rather than the future, and because of their 11 was, like, I say so good, but like so vital compared to the rest of their squad. I think it's so, like, obviously we don't know what bids have come in for their players except for Walker, but I think it's so vital they held on to those players, which is going to be a win in itself. So you look at Gillingham, for example, last season, the biggest win of the transfer window was arguably holding on to Dak. Like, the biggest win of the transfer window for Spurs might be holding on to their squad, but then at the same time you've got to look at bringing players in. Because if you look at Spurs 11, I'll just run through a quick 4-2-3-1. Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Wimmer. Alderweireld, Vertonghen, I don't know why I said Wimmer. Rose, Dembele, Wanyama, and then you've got like Son / Lamela, Ali, Eriksen, Kane, and then away from that, you've got, like I said, Lamella, Davies maybe, Dyer. Like there's
Sissoko. Like,
yeah, Sissoko.
Like it's not.
Like,
I know. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's not too much, especially for that sort of quality. But their 11 is such a cut above the rest of their squad, I feel. I don't know. It does depend on how they adapt to Wembley, to be fair, because the top 6 could go in any order, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could go in any order. So
wait, I've got to do my fourth.
You're fourth. Yeah, I was about to ask. You're fourth.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah, I thought that'd be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, it does seem there's a bit going on behind the scenes, doesn't it? Because obviously Chelsea won the league, but then Conte is rumoured to be off to Inter Milan. He's rumoured to not be happy with the policies. Rumoured to be leaving, but obviously he signed the new deal now. I feel like last season, towards the end, they weren't that impressive. I mean, they went on a run of games without actually keeping a clean sheet, which people didn't really notice because of the changing system that they were so focused on. I think they sort of got figured out. Obviously, summer's a time to regroup. It's important they hit the ground running in terms of their new signings. Morata especially, because there's pressure on him to get the goals when he hasn't actually played that much football in his career. He's never been a certain number 9. Like you say, he was getting the Real Madrid team, but he was always behind Benzema, Ronaldo.
Right, yeah.
They've got the Champions League pressure, which didn't have last season. They do have a bigger squad. Obviously, they've got Kante, who's going to play, and then are they going to pair him with Bakayoko, who they spent money on? Similar player to Kante. They're going to pair him with Fabregas. Obviously, they've got Batshuayi there. They've got, in terms of defence, they've got Luiz, Cahill, Rudiger, Azpilicueta. I know Zuma's just gone out on loan now. They've still got Christensen, I believe, unless he's gone out on loan. Obviously, got one of the best keepers in the league, Alonso. I think they've got a very, very good squad. Hazard, of course. I just feel, I don't know. I feel like they kind of got figured out a bit, and
possibly.
I think the other side. I mean, Chelsea. It wouldn't surprise me if they finish high, like you say.
Because it could go. I think it could go either way, isn't it? Like you said, top 6.
It's hard to predict.
It's very hard to predict.
I just feel like the other teams have done well, and Chelsea. They quietly won the league last season. It's not like they stormed. I know they won it by a fair distance, but it's not like they were excellent.
No.
And
I never watched them and thought they were massively convincing.
Yeah, I know. I do feel like they'll do well. They've got a solid manager, solid system, a solid squad, but I don't feel they've got the excellence, especially like Man City and Man United now.
No. Bit of contrast, isn't it? Because last year, and to win the league.
I did have them to win the league in my bet. Pulled through. I thought about them this year, to be fair, staying loyal, but Man City just do look too good this season.
Exactly. Moving on, like out of top 4, missing out on Champions League this season unless they win it. Obviously, I've gone with Liverpool.
Unless they win it.
I mean, it'd be good if they can win it, but I can't see them winning the Champions League. That's for another day. I think obviously I've put their possibly better than last year. Haven't really lost too much. Like Coutinho, I don't think he's on his way out, is he?
It's so vital that they keep Coutinho. I know they've got players to come in, but I've got Liverpool 5th as well.
Yeah.
I feel like Coutinho playing in that deeper role as he has done. We've even seen it in pre-season. He's done so well. If he's off to Barcelona, then the likes of Wijnaldum will probably come in for him. They'll probably bring someone in. Obviously, hopefully, still get Keita. But it's so vital they keep Coutinho, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just. Like,
but I do feel as though last year, like they had opportunity where I felt like they slipped up a few times, Liverpool, in their games.
Yeah.
Like, I think they drew like at home to Southampton, didn't they? Like I think Milner missed like an 80th minute penalty.
Yeah.
And that was towards the end of the season. They lost at home to Swansea, didn't they? Like and I feel as though I don't know. I think, and like it shocks me how they still finished top 4, because like where I was looking at it, I was like watching it as it came through.
I didn't think Liverpool were going to get top 4.
Yeah, I know, yeah, and like I don't know, I just don't really feel. I feel as though other teams were like lower than expected last year.
The things that I know what you mean, but the things that because obviously there was talk about Man City not getting top 4 at one point. That'd been a disaster for Guardiola. But no, there's 2 things for Liverpool that stick out for me of their problems. They've not, arguably 3. I don't think they've really addressed it. They have trouble breaking down lower teams. So we saw their good record against the rest of the top 4 last season, but they struggled against lower teams. Also, they lost at Burnley. They drew at Sunderland. I don't know if it's but against Sunderland.
Hull as well, didn't they? Against Hull.
Yeah.
Home to Swansea.
They just struggled to break the teams down. They were free scoring against the rest of it, and at the start of the season, but. Also, they've brought in Salah, who I think is going to play on the right with Mane on the left, probably.
Yeah, that'd be very dangerous.
It looks like Firmino is going to be the main striker. I know he's not a goal scorer like I say, with Kane at Spurs, but Firmino works well for Klopp in terms of his defensive play, but the thing for Liverpool that's key for me, that's always been a problem since the Brendan Rodgers days when they missed out on the league, is the defence. The state of Liverpool's defence is a joke. I mean, you look at Spurs' defence, you look at Chelsea's defence, you look at United's defence, even City's defence now.
Arsenal's sorting out a bit as well.
Yeah, Liverpool's keeper, first of all, Mignolet, not good enough. Nor's Karius. I like Danny Ward, but it doesn't look like he's fancied. Klein, okay, fair enough. Alexander-Arnold, they got coming through. Matip, okay. Left back's a funny one because they bought in Robertson from Hull, who I think is a good signing. You liked him as well last season.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah.
Good signing. I don't know if he's going to play every week. I'd like him to. Milner, obviously, very versatile, could play there. Moreno's done okay in pre-season, but I don't know if he's fancied by Klopp. It'd be nice if he could come through. The other centre-back's a problem because Klavan, again, making errors in pre-season. He's just not good enough, is he? Straight up. Joe Gomez, I like, probably not ready. Sacco's not fancied. Lovren's just, I don't know why he's at Liverpool. Like, he makes so many errors, but he's just got a new contract, over £100 a week, and it's just a funny one because obviously they're rumoured with Van Dijk. If they could get Van Dijk and Matip, that's a good pairing. Really good, but it's just.
But even Matip, I thought it was a bit shaky last.
He does look shaky, but he's still young. He looks like he's going to be in the squad for a long time.
I think he will. Yeah, I think he'll come through. I think he looks like he'll do okay.
Yeah, I feel like also for Liverpool, they don't, like I say with Firmino, they don't have that number 9. They've got Sturridge. No. Sturridge is not a Klopp player, and he's always injured. He got injured again against Bayern Munich. Origi is, I don't know if he's there yet, but obviously Firmino's fancied. That's Klopp's system, fair enough. But I don't have to have that number 9 like Kane, like Morata, like Lukaku. Sorry, like Lukaku who just hit Jack's paper. You can't see that. Firmino to come in. They don't have that number 9 to come in. But obviously Klopp sort of knows what he's doing. The motivator, so he's been called. Hopefully they can sort out the defence. They definitely need another centre back in at least.
Yeah, definitely. I think. I don't know. I feel as though I don't think they'll compete with the top. I don't think they'll compete with the likes of Chelsea, United, Spurs, and City. That's why
especially they're in the Champions League as well, aren't they? Obviously, they've got Hoffenheim in the qualifying round. If they get through that, they've got to face the struggles of Champions League with that thin squad. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to have the likes of Emre Can, Wijnaldum on the bench, Sturridge and Origi. They've got a bit more depth than last season, with Coutinho playing deeper and Salah coming in. But yeah, they still need a few signings. I think they've only made the couple. Obviously they've got Dom Solanke actually. He's probably not there yet, but he does look a good prospect for future. We've seen him for England's youth. I don't know. Liverpool seem like they have 3 number 9s, like natural number 9s: Sturridge, Origi, and Solanke. Don't know who's fancied, but obviously we'll see. But they just made the 3 signings so far. Good signings, I must say, but they do need more defensively.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on to 6th place. I think obviously top 6 is difficult to call. I think I've gone with Arsenal as well. I sort of says they've sorted out their defence, like possibly going through at the back.
Yeah, that's vital.
Obviously, I think Bellerin, I think that suits him more because I think defensively he was a bit questionable.
Yeah.
Playing him at right wing back, but obviously you got Oxlade-Chamberlain there, could play right wing back. Left wing back, I don't know who the options. Gibbs, I suppose, Monreal, and that Kolesniak, whatever.
I think he's definitely been brought in to play left wing back. He's more of a specialist wing back.
Yeah, and obviously Holding's young. He's got to play. He'll be playing next year. He's got to have a good season. And obviously Staffy and Koscielny, aren't they?
I don't feel like Holding has to have a good season, but I feel like because of his quality of last season, he wants to sort of keep that going. Sort of like Joe Gomez when he got injured, he was good, and then he sort of died down, and now he's out of the team at Liverpool. And
then I look at him in midfield as well, and like Xhaka, and like where else they've got.
They've been linked with Rafinha from Barcelona. I mean, that's died down.
Is he centre midfield? Is he?
Yeah. I mean, he's versatile. I see what you mean, but he does normally play centre midfielder. But if they had Xhaka and Rafinha in centre midfield, I feel that'd be a good pairing. But you look at, I mean, Ramsey's alright, but Coquelin, El Neni,
exactly. I think Ramsey will need to score goals next season, like he has done, sort of thing. Like from maybe centre midfielder, possibly deeper than he'd prefer to be. And I think obviously Sanchez will have to have a very good season. Is he interested? Does he want to play in Europa League? Does he want to play? Obviously, I think he's excellent. I'd always have him. Like,
what's the situation with him?
Team.
With only a year left on his contract.
Exactly.
I mean, we did say before that he was out of contract. We got that completely wrong, but just got that wrong. But hold your hands up for that. But
obviously,
is he interested?
Obviously, Wenger's gonna think like, do I want him for 1 year and then let him go for 3, or do I accept the 40 million now? Like he sort of, but I feel as though I think I was with you when they won the FA Cup, and I think I said like Sanchez looks quite happy here, and I said Wenger does, and I said I think Sanchez and Wenger will both get given new contracts because it's a bit iffy if Wenger would get a new contract.
I don't think it's ever iffy if Sanchez is going to get a contract.
No.
If he's going to sign it.
Exactly. Yeah, but obviously he looks happy, and I thought he would because he was quite.
No, what I think about Sanchez is if he's got basically a season left in his deal, so Arsenal have got to say to him, if you want to stay, they've got to get into that top 4 at least.
Yeah.
Like Ibs was saying on his video on the Club I Love, that Arsenal have got to get like second just to show Sanchez the ambition, because otherwise he's off, because he's one of the best players in the world, and he wants to be at the best clubs, not playing in the Europa League. But
exactly.
For Arsenal, I think it's vital that they stick with this formation, because they just look so out of fashion when they're playing that 4-2-3-1.
Had a good season
yeah,
as well,
under Wenger's old system, the 4-2-3-1. Since they moved to the 3-4-3, they've been so much better, and they picked up their form. Obviously, they won the FA Cup. It seems they finally got their striker situation sorted with Lacazette. He's got a proven record in Ligue 1. He's got to hit the ground running, obviously. But I feel like if they do stick with this formation, I think they could break into top 4, because they've got decent players, they've got a decent defensive setup. And at
home they always look good as well. So I think they're always guaranteed. They don't really stiff up against the lower teams, do they?
Yeah, and they've definitely.
Like from the away side, I think they always look as though they go to grounds. They normally dominate. I think they do dominate.
They lost to West Brom away last season.
Yeah. See, like obviously
Palace, didn't they get smashed against Palace?
Yeah, like 3-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel as though they normally go to teams and they do like, and I think at home they're normally good at home as well.
Also, I think with the whole Wenger thing, like. We've seen the stuff with Arsenal fan TV and stuff online. Like, if the fans aren't behind Wenger, it becomes an unhappy place to be. Like, obviously, we saw the fans abusing Bellerin. We saw the protests, the banners, and all this. We saw when Wenger's dropped Sanchez. I don't know what that was about, but obviously he's got to keep the fans on side, which is vital. But I think if we're going to 7th place, unless you've got anything else you want to say on Arsenal.
I mean, like, obviously as a Spurs fan, I'd love to see him go down, but I can't see it. That's about it. Go on to 7th place. I've gone with Everton.
Everton, yeah.
I think obviously good signings, like obviously a good defence, like Jordan Pickford, Michael Keane, and that Dutch one. What's that Dutch one's name? That centre midfielder is meant to be quite good, isn't it?
Klassen.
Yeah. I think paid a lot of money for him.
I think with Everton under Martinez, they were horrible defensively.
Yeah.
But under Koeman,
Keane's like Keane.
Yeah, he's transformed it, isn't he? He's obviously with Keane as well. You're assuming it's going to be Keane and Williams next season.
Obviously Coleman when he gets back.
Yeah, they still got Baines. Pickford's going to be £30 million for Pickford could be excellent. I think if they stay for 10 years, he's going to be England's number 1 soon enough. Compete with Jack Butland probably.
I think obviously in terms of Martina as well to play until Coleman gets back. He looks quite good at Southampton.
Yeah, he was good at Southampton.
He doesn't look too bad
on a free transfer.
I think they've sort of. Obviously, Rooney bringing him back, like obviously that's a bit, it's hit or miss really. It could prove good, it might not, who knows. But obviously, I do feel as I look at their squad, I think they would have to because they've sort of lost a big man in Lukaku. But I think they've sort of recovered following losing Lukaku.
Yeah, I think they spent the Lukaku money early, didn't they? But
yeah.
Do you think Rooney's going to play as a number 9? Because it looks like he is, but I don't know if they're going to use him.
Obviously, like, does he want to play every week? Is he going to obviously his fitness, yeah.
But
I don't know, because at Man United, like, was it the fact that there was better players around him, or was it the fact that he was he didn't want to...
I feel like he's happy now because he's not got always got that pressure of being at one of the bigger clubs in the league. But we'll see if that revitalises his England career. But because there are so many signings, I think they've got a gel. It's some sort of hard to see what formation they're going to play. Looks like the 4-3-3, as Koeman likes. It just seems like other teams are better. It wouldn't surprise me. Like a cheeky bet on Everton to break into top 4, maybe. Obviously, they've invested very, very well. It seems, but we could have said that about Spurs or Liverpool when they lost Bale and Suarez for that money.
Yeah. But I think with Everton, excuse me, they sort of lost. No, obviously the players they've gained. Like obviously, we look at Spurs and Liverpool and like the players they signed. We didn't really know too much about them.
Yeah.
But with Everton, we sort of
state of some of those signings.
I know. Like Soldado, like what even? I don't even know.
Lazar Markovic.
Where's he now? Like on Hull's bench, isn't it? Obviously, there's Klassen. Like obviously, I hope that maybe it'll be a good signing for them. Rooney, we know he's going to be a good player. Obviously.
I think the ones at Everton that you're not going to know so much about is Ramirez and Classic. Obviously, you've got Rooney, proven.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much recently, but I think Keane proven, Pickford proven. If they get Sigurdsson as well, obviously, there's rumours about that flying about. Swansea say Paul Clement came out and said that he was in.
Obviously, if Barkley was to lead, that'd be quite a good swap, wouldn't it? Sigurdsson.
Yeah,
Barkley.
yeah. I prefer the Sigurdsson. I like him. He's a good player, obviously, at Spurs, so you know a bit about him. But I think Paul Clement came out and said that Swansea have been in talks with one club in particular. I'm assuming that's Everton. The biggest signing, I think he'd play very frequently. Obviously, that'd be a big loss for Swansea, but we'll still see if that one goes through.
Okay, so
this is where it gets interesting.
We're moving on now.
Yeah,
Go either way. 8th, isn't it? This is
8th.
I've gone with West Ham.
I've gone with Southampton.
Southampton. Oh.
The thing is,
You say your reason for Southampton first.
Yeah, I did have them lower, but I looked at their squad and I just think like their squad's just good. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just good.
Yeah.
Like obviously they're rumoured to lose Van Dijk. It looks like they will. His trainer and he doesn't want to be at the club. They've got a new manager as well, but the amount of times they've changed their manager. So obviously they've lost Pellegrini, they've lost Koeman.
Pellegrini.
No, they've bought Pellegrino in. They've lost Pochettino. Sorry. Pellegrino's there now. Sorry, I got confused there with our Man City boss. Slip of the tongue, but obviously they're a good club. Like no matter what managers they lost, no matter who they signed, they did well. They did well. They're going to lose Van Dijk, but they've got other players there in defence. They've got Yoshida. They've got Stevens. Correct me if I'm wrong. Any other players?
No, Jack Stevens. Yeah.
Obviously, they've got a good strike force now. It looks like they've got Austin back as well. Gabbiadini. They've got James Ward-Prowse breaking into the England squad. Those sort of players. Your mate, Dusan Tadic. Nathan Redmond, of course. And I just think they're a good squad and they're going to do well. Good side.
Yeah, I've gone with West Ham. I thought last year it looked pretty solid as they were, and I think all they've done is really improved. Like, I haven't really lost anyone massive. I think I've always liked Arnautovic.
Yeah. He's a good player when he fancies it.
Yeah, when he was, and obviously, like he's left Stoke, he had in the transfer request, shows he wasn't happy. Shows possibly you wonder how long he wasn't happy for. He's gone to West Ham now, probably a better side. Not a lot really, and it is between West Ham and Stoke, but obviously he wanted to move on. Obviously 20 million, 25 million, 20 million, wasn't it? 20 million,
something like that.
Sort of thing. Like, you know, it's something to live up to. But obviously he's proven. I think in a better side he'd definitely do well. If he wasn't Stoke's main man, but I think he would do well at West Ham. Joe Hart, obviously you question Joe Hart, don't you? As the goalkeeper.
Very much so.
But I think I don't know. I think he'll slot in alright. I think he'll do okay. Like back in England, sort of thing. Like, I think obviously he knows like where he is, sort of thing. He knows England better than like when he was at Italy, went last year, Torino.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Obviously, so I think he'll feel more comfortable playing in England, more confident at West Ham. I think Hernandez is a very good signing. Like, I'm a bit gutted. Like, personally, like, I thought I'd like to have seen him sit on the bench before Kane, sort of thing, at Spurs, sort of thing, and play against the lower sort of teams. But obviously he'd want to go and play first team football, and I think that's a very good signing. Because I always liked Hernandez. Like, maybe he didn't hold the ball up very well. Like, sometimes
he gets goals.
Obviously you can't do. There's nothing you can complain about. And obviously, I don't know. Like you said previously before the video, I don't think Hernandez will play with Carroll. But obviously, if they did, like, I think that would be quite good, because Carroll will be a good target man who'll be able to lay it off of Hernandez, who's obviously better with his feet, has better eye for goal than Carroll, like with his feet, sort of thing. And obviously, I don't know. I feel West Ham would be quite a bit of a threat next year.
Yeah, I've got. Sorry, go on.
No, that's what
I think I've got West Ham in 9th, so that's only one position lower.
Yeah.
Obviously they made good signings in Hart, Arnautovic and Hernandez. I think they all slot straight in. West Ham have had a goalkeeper problem for a while. Hart is prone to an error, but he's better keeper than the other two. Obviously Randolph gone now. Hernandez was slotting up front. I think Arnautovic was slotting on that left with Lanzini and Antonio. That's a good front four, to be fair. I think the problem for them is that have they adapted to the London Stadium yet? Obviously they showed struggles there last year after leaving Upton Park. Bilic is still questioned. The fans are sometimes impatient. I don't want to insult any West Ham fans, but sometimes impatient. They'll be solid. They'll be more solid than last year. Their owners are a bit clueless, but they'll be more solid than last year. Who have you got in 9th?
Yeah, I've got Southampton in 9th.
All right,
fair enough. Basically not a lot different. I've I said, same as every year. Like the squad hasn't really changed massively, still slightly. I mean, like I did question putting them a bit lower, but I think the fact they're losing Van Dijk, but I still think the squad's there. And I don't really know if any other teams that are in the bottom 10 will sort of push into the top 10 this season, sort of thing. I still think Southampton have a good season, a solid like 9th. Like I think they probably that's about where they were last year. I think I think the squad.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but obviously losing Van Dijk might be a bit more of a struggle. But obviously losing Martina, but he didn't play every game to do right back.
No,
I'm just trying to think of Southampton's like who they lost. But obviously with the squad, I think they'll be fine again. Like,
I think with Southampton,
mid-table finish.
They've obviously got Suarez and Pete, I think his name is, at right back, and then they've got Bertrand at left back. They've got Romeo and that, but I know they've got like Yoshida Stevens. They lost Caceres, he got released. I thought he could have played a role actually, but obviously not. They might need a centre back if Van Dijk goes, but they're a solid side, aren't they? They're a solid side all through.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on to 10th then? Finish the top 10.
So finish my top 10, moving on to 10th. I've gone with Leicester.
Okay.
I've just gone with, I think like there'll be no real problems. I think obviously maybe Leicester when they started struggling, they were talks of they might relegate, but I didn't think.
I thought they looked like going down to be fair,
they could have done,
before Ranieri was sacked.
Yeah, and obviously like then when Ranieri left, like it looks harsh on him because he won the league, and obviously like the players obviously weren't really responding under him as they did under Craig Shakespeare like the first half of last season. So I think like under Craig Shakespeare, I think they'll kick off their second half of the season like maybe possibly the whole way through. I reckon they'll stay consistent like with Craig Shakespeare, like no real problems. Like Jamie Vardy again, like probably won't have the same season he did when he won the league. Mahrez probably won't have the same season when he won the league, but I still think they're still capable of finishing mid-table. I think it'll be solid season at mid-table next season.
Yeah.
What are you going with for 10th then?
I went with Bournemouth. They finished 9th last year. They're a very inconsistent side sometimes. I mean, sometimes they can just get smashed and sometimes they can play teams off the park. But they do play nice football. Eddie Howe's obviously working with the squad, very good manager, future England manager.
Yeah.
The sign of Defoe is going to be key. He scored lots of goals in 2 seasons at Sunderland, in the last 2 seasons at Sunderland. And then obviously they've got Josh King as well, who might play off him. But if they go with a 4-4-2, King and Defoe will be very good. Sort of similar players. You sort of your goal scoring poachers sort of things, but also both capable of pulling something out of that quality. Both scored goals, both proven, both scored a lot of goals last season. 9th last season. The thing for me at Bournemouth is their defence is sometimes a bit off, but obviously they've got Begovic in now, going to be a good first choice keeper.
Nathan Ake's a good shout.
Nathan Ake as well. Spent a bit of money on him. Bournemouth's recruitment isn't always the best. In terms of some of the players they brought in, so like Jordan Ibe, Brad Smith that they brought in, but it does look like Nathan Ake is going to be a good sign. Obviously, he's been there before. He'll slot straight into the team with one of the defenders. But they move the ball nicely. I like the style of football, and I think they'll do well again, especially if they shore up the defence. Definitely. Do you want to go backwards now? So we finish the top 10. Do you want to sort of go to the relegation places?
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
So should we start from 20th?
Yeah. I've gone with obviously never been there before. I've gone with Huddersfield.
Yeah, I've gone with Huddersfield.
I think they'll definitely struggle. Like no convincing signings. Like obviously, like you might not know, but I'm a slight Derby follower. I quite like watching them.
Derby follower.
Wow. Corner Rams and everything. Like they got their first game this season, like away to Sunderland. Like obviously they've lost. Got to win that. Good win that. But obviously they've lost. Tom Ince has signed for Huddersfield, and I was watching him last year, and like
I was going to say, what relevance did that have?
I know. He's got just like random facts, like
Tom Ince.
Obviously Tom Ince, like a lot of money, like for an inexperienced. Obviously, I watched Derby when I could last year, and I didn't see him as amazing there, sort of thing. I might be wrong. Like obviously with better plays, he might look better.
I think he's got poor attitude.
I think he has.
Well.
I didn't see him as brilliant, and if that's the sort of player that they're going to be bringing in for a lot of money, then I don't really see much hope, kind of thing. I think there's always going to be a struggle. Like their squad was always never going to be quite Premier League material, sort of thing. That Moy, I know, had a good year and he's signed on permanently now.
Yeah.
But I see him struggling.
I think it's a good move for Tom Ince personally, because he's always wanted his shot in the Premier League, like when he was at Liverpool.
Yeah, he has.
There was rumours about him going back to the Premier League, but obviously now he's there. But Wagner's a very good manager, sort of like Jurgen Klopp. He's got a bit of personality about him.
Not quite Jaap Stam at Reading, I don't think. But
No, Jaap Stam's a good manager too. Obviously, Huddersfield beat him on penalties in the playoffs. So Lawrence ranked him in the Premier League, I suppose. But yeah, Moy sort of tore up the Championship last season. Good to get him permanently. Can he do it again in the Premier League? It's going to be vital. They've got obviously Ince and they've got Tommy Smith and Naki Wells are the players that stick out for me. But I just don't think they're going to have enough. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got enough Premier League experience. Decent side, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did a bit. But I just don't think they will.
No, same. Okay, so moving on to 19th, I've gone with Watford.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Interesting.
I do.
Interesting.
Last season, like obviously Marco Silva, like you could argue that would be a good manager, like sort of thing. But then again, he did relegate Hull last year, like sort of.
Well, I wouldn't say he relegated Hull. Mike Phelan relegated Hull.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, obviously. But like I haven't really made the most convincing of signings really either of they sort of thing. Like Will Hughes, like obviously from Derby, like Championship again. You don't know how.
They just bought in 3 midfielders. To be fair, they bought in Hughes, Chalobah, and Cleverley.
Yeah, and Cleverley was there last year, and obviously easy enough.
They got Capoue as well.
But obviously,
I think Cleverley's joined permanently now.
Yeah. Was he there last year?
Was he on loan?
Season before,
he was on loan last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was.
But I don't know. Signings haven't made me too convincing. I watched him last year, and I didn't excite me. I didn't really think that much of him. I don't know. I think they struggled this year.
It's just the fact that the manager doesn't really give them time to gel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the manager, the owners, because they seem to change manager every year. Because they had Sanchez Flores and they had Mazzari.
Yeah.
They've got Silva now, but he's a good manager. Hopefully they stick with him. But that's interesting. You've got him to go down. It's hard to choose. I think.
You going with 19th?
I've gone with Brighton. I don't know. I think the thing that sticks out for me, they had such good defence in the Championship last season. As a cohesive unit, I think they exceeded 40 goals last season in 46 games, joint best of Newcastle, I believe. I think they've got an average defence. Obviously, not much Premier League experience in them. They've got a good manager. Chris Hughton's a good manager. I'll say lower Premier League standard manager. They've got a good strike force. They've got Glenn Murray, who's going to be vital, I think, because obviously his Premier League experience with Palace, with Bournemouth. Sam Baldock, decent striker as well. Seen him at Bristol City and at Brighton as well. They've got Izzy Brown as well from Chelsea on loan. Obviously at Huddersfield last year with that miss in the playoff final. But interested to see what he can do in the Premier League. Hopefully he can get a chance to try and break into that Chelsea side. I think they've got to be solid, but I just, again, like Huddersfield, I don't think they have enough quality. I don't think they have enough. I think the other teams have got a bit more about them, more Premier League experience, more of that quality, and I think it'll be unlucky for Brighton because it's good to see a new side in the Premier League.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
good to see them.
It is good.
Unfortunately, they didn't win the Championship last season, actually. But mighty Newcastle saving the bets.
Mighty Newcastle. So moving on to 18, just relegating. I've gone with Burnley.
Okay. We've gone really different here with your last couple of.
I just thought they haven't really made those convincing of signings. I thought obviously they've got Heaton, good goalkeeper, but they lost Keane. They haven't really seemed to replace him. I didn't think.
I think with that Tarkowski, I think he's a ready-made replacement. It looks like it's going to be Tarkowski and me at Burnley.
Yeah, but obviously I don't think it'll be quite Michael Keane, will it? Sort of thing.
No.
Obviously, they I think they'll have to make their home ground a fortress again, like they did last season. They have to be very good at home. They have to be very solid, and obviously, they'll if they don't make it as good as it was last year, they'll be missing out on points, obviously. So and obviously, up front, I think they sort of a bit shy of goals last year. I thought maybe Burnley, sort of thing, like Ashley Barnes, Sam Vokes. Sam Vokes sort of dried up towards the end of the season. I think he started it quite well. Andre Gray's a live wire sort of thing. But I don't think they've sort of sorted this strike force out.
Well, I'll come to Burnley when I get there. I'll give my views when I get to Burnley. But for 18th in my table, I've gone for Swansea City. Obviously, Clement sort of saved their arses from Brad Bobley.
Bob Bradley.
Some have called him.
Some American, whatever his name is.
But Paul Clement's a good manager, obviously.
Former Derby County as well.
He's not really proven himself except for at Swansea.
No.
What have I written?
He was a coach, wasn't he? Like Bayern, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's followed Ancelotti around for a while.
Yeah,
he's at Madrid, he's at Chelsea.
So he's got some experience of top level football sort of thing.
I've written down no real class. If they lose Sigurdsson especially, I mean they'll get a lot of money for him, and you'd like to think they replace him well, but
and they haven't really got. Even if they do lose, they haven't got too long, have they, to replace him?
Hopefully they get it done soon if they're going to.
Yeah.
They've got Llorente as well. But apart from that, maybe Carroll, Fur. I don't see too much. They need a defender.
I like Tom Carroll a lot. He's used to form at Spurs. I think he's done well at Swansea. Leroy Fur.
They've got Alfie Mawson as well, which he's okay on his day.
He's young, yeah. He was linked with Spurs, wasn't he?
I think not Everton. Swansea's defence is a bit sticky. It's not the best.
No.
They need to do some transfer business, I think.
Definitely.
I think they could struggle again as well.
So, moving on to 17th, just surviving the drop. I've gone with Brighton for this. Brighton Hove Albion.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that'd be a good result for them.
It will be good. I think it will be. I don't know. I can see another South Coast team like shocking us all, like surviving like Bournemouth did in their first season.
Southampton.
Like when you wouldn't expect them to. I don't know. I can just like see it happening. I think it. Don't get me wrong. I think it will definitely be tough for them. I think they're gonna have to make it really. They're gonna have to make themselves really good at home. I think their players their fans gonna have to get really behind them.
Like I said, obviously they will. Quite a lot.
Yeah, I think they're gonna sell out their ground quite a lot. Like obviously, like Premier League, same as Huddersfield will, but I don't know. I feel as though they might have a bit more quality. The fact that they finished higher than Huddersfield last year in the league, the fact that they were Newcastle sort of, it was a 2-horse race sort of thing. They sort of went out.
Brighton sort of bottled it at the end.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, the strikers Sam Baldock and Glenn Murray, like Premier League experience, possibly not really ideal meant to have. Like Glenn Murray does look a bit of a goat at times at clubs in the past.
A what?
A bit of a goat.
Do you know what goat means?
A bit rubbish, really.
No, goat means really good. Goat
doesn't.
Yeah, goat stands for greatest of all time.
It does not stand for.
Yes, it does. No, in the comments, right? Goat stands for greatest of all time. If you're like, oh, he's the goat, that's good.
Oh well, I don't really use it in that sort of respect. And like Knockout had a good season.
You're a goat, mate.
Knockout had a good season last year.
He did.
Brighton, obviously.
Prior season.
Was it the club? The club or just league?
The league, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So obviously. Yeah, I think obviously he'll have another good season, hopefully. But yeah, I think it'll be difficult, but I can make their ground a bit of a fortress. So I think, I think it'll be tough, but I reckon it'll be
tough.
Right.
But if they do, that'll be quality for them. They've got a good foundation, they've just got to build on it. 17th, I've got Newcastle United.
Newcastle.
They've I can't read my writing. They're a good side. They're a good side. They've got good players, good depth. Obviously, they had a decent. I thought they struggled defensively, but I think last season they did have a good defense. They didn't beat all the teams you thought they should have beat. They did okay at the start, and then they sort of dropped a bit. Obviously, they won it at the death from Brighton, but you thought they should have stormed the Championship, really. Obviously, Benitez has had more time to settle. This will be his third season, not his full season, but third season now at the club. What have I written? They need to do well. They need to do well because they weren't as good as I thought they was going to be in the Championship. Benitez is obviously a good manager. He's done well with massive clubs before. He's at Real Madrid before. He's been at Liverpool, Inter Milan, those sort of teams. Chelsea. The main problem for me is Mike Ashley's a bit weird. I don't know how long Benitez is going to be there. They could fall out at any point, but they've got the likes of Gale, they've got the likes of Lascelles, Kieran Clark got Premier League experience. They've got about 8 keepers. Shelvey, Manquillo's gone there, which is interesting. Yeah, Gale. I said.
Sorry.
They've got a good enough team to stay up. It's just some of the stuff behind the scenes and the fact that they're not as good as I think they should be, sort of costs them sometimes, I think. And I don't think they're going to be as solid because they're a big club, like some people suggesting. But yeah, I've gone with them to stay up. I don't think they'll go down, but I think they'll struggle.
No, and then obviously, okay, so moving on, I've gone with 16th place again, just surviving. I've gone with Swansea there.
Yeah.
I think Clement did well last year. I liked how he kept them. I reckon I'll survive the drop just about. I think like they've obviously the squad is lacking. It's not the lacking of quality. Sigurdsson's going to be vital to keep hold of, but I reckon if they can, then I think they'll grind out a few results. I think they'll do right because Paul Clement, maybe the style of football wasn't really massively improved, but he got results for him.
Yeah, he kept him up, didn't he?
He kept him up.
The change had to happen.
Exactly. So moving on to 15th.
I've done my 16th, mate.
Your 16th.
Wait for me.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm too ahead of myself.
I've got Stoke.
Oh,
Yeah.
down there.
I think obviously under Hughes, they're such a boring team. They're a bit of a nothing team in the league. I don't like Hughes as a person or a manager.
No.
Do
you reckon he'll be first out?
I don't know if he'll be first out. I did actually say that in a podcast, actually. But yeah, Stoke need defenders. They've obviously lost Barnsley. Don't know how much of a key role that will play, but they need defenders. You look at their attack. Obviously, they've lost Arnautovic, but still got Shaqiri. They got Bojan still. They got Berahino, but they need to hit the ground running. Berahino obviously has attitude problems. I think when he was at Spurs, he tried to. When he was rumoured to go to Spurs, he tried to force something through or something like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored many goals. I don't know if he's even scored for Stoke.
No.
They need it to work. They need it to work because the quality they have up front hasn't worked, and I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, I think so.
Crouch in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Crouch was scoring last season because they were bringing in Crouch for. Berahino, and they shouldn't be doing that. It's Peter Crouch, you know what I mean? Berahino should be scoring goals. They needed to gel, but they're a bit of a boring team, and I think other teams are going to be better, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's about time sort of thing that they've sort of always been like mid-table obscurity, haven't they? They've sort of always looked quite safe at home, but I think there will be one point where they start to look over their shoulders a bit.
Yeah, they've not made progress. I mean, Hughes obviously made progress with the playing style, but later on, they've not made progress for a while, have they?
Yeah. Okay, so just above them, I've gone for my 15th team. I've gone with Newcastle United here. I think they'll be safe, with a few games to go. I think I don't think they'll struggle as such, but I still think they'll be lower mid-table sort of thing.
Yeah, like I say, yeah.
Like the signing sort of thing. I think Lascelles will be a good leader there. I think in terms of defence, maybe Kieran Clark Premier League experience, possibly not a vital, obviously not an ideal man, but obviously I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think Lascelles obviously is a leader. Shelby, I think Shelby's a good player. To bring back into the Premier League is good. Gale, I think hopefully will score goals. Who's one they've brought in, sort of thing?
The player-wise,
yeah,
they brought in Mankilo.
He's a fullback, isn't it?
He's a fullback.
An attacking sort of player. Like a wing have they brought in?
But
anyway, also in terms of
I'll find out for you.
In terms of Mitrovic sort of thing as well, he's sort of bully sort of player. He maybe doesn't, maybe not really quality in terms of the Premier League, but I think he'll bully his defenders sort of thing. I think he'll bully him to a few results. Obviously, working with Gale, maybe Mitrovic and Gale could work. Mitrovic hold up, kind of I think they might do at West Ham, or they could do at West Ham. It could work, and Gale maybe to score the goals.
Yeah, I don't know if they've lost their patience a little bit with Mitrovic. He's not sort of been what I think they thought that he was going to be, but he's still a good player. We saw him last time he was in the Premier League. He still scored goals. Yeah, like you say, I don't think they're going to do anything special, but I think they will be all right. I'm just trying to find out who that is, the player you're talking about.
I might be wrong.
Jacob Murphy, is that what you're thinking of?
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, Jacob Murphy from Norwich. We saw him tear apart Gilles a couple of seasons ago.
Trick.
They'll be all right. I don't think they're going to... people sort of think they're going to do better, I think, because they're a big club, but,
So
what position was that? 15th?
That was 15th.
I've gone with Watford. They've obviously got Marco Silva, which is the main reason I think they're going to be okay. Like I say, they've brought in the three midfielders, Chalobah, Cleverley and Hughes. Their owners are a bit retarded. Probably shouldn't have said that. Other owners are a bit weird. They're a bit just a bit crap, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're a bit crap. I thought they were going to go down a couple of seasons ago when they came up, to be fair. Props to Flores for keeping them up. Mazzari wasn't the best manager. Obviously, Gilles beat him last season, but they'll be all right. Silva's a good manager. If he can get them playing like he did with Hull, he made Hull look a good team. Yeah, I'm sure Watford will be okay because they have a bit more quality than Hull did, but not the best of sides. But I think they'll be okay with Silva.
Okay, so moving on to 14th. This is where I've gone with Crystal Palace.
Okay.
I'm thinking a good manager sort of thing, good player. They definitely got good players there to keep him up, like Townsend, Zaha,
Benteke.
They've definitely got the players there that will keep him up. Obviously, and I think they've got a good manager now. I think maybe they might have struggled in terms of management, with Pardew and Allardyce, possibly. I don't know, but obviously they've got Frank de Boer's quite well known, isn't he?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Good player.
I think he'll do well there. I think they'll be safe. I don't think I'll be looking over the shoulder that much. Obviously, I think like low mid-table again, like build up for the season after. I think that'd be a good target for him this year.
Yeah. I'll go on to Palace in a sec because they're coming up soon for me. But for my 14th, I've gone with West Brom because last season was weird because they looked destined to finish 8th and then they just folded and they just rolled over, and I don't know what happened to them, but they're always solid, aren't they, with those 4 centre backs across the back, however they want to do it. They've got the good defenders. They've got Johnny Evans, Macaulay, Dawson, those sort of players. Keeper and Ben Foster. They've got Jay Rodriguez now going forward with Rondon. He could be good. Hopefully he revitalises his career because he was knocking on the England squad, wasn't he, before he got that injury at Southampton when all the good players like Lambert, Lallana, Klein, all those players left. I think it was Klein. I think he left at the same time. Anyway, yeah, Rodriguez would be a good sign. They're always solid. They're just a bit of a nothing team, aren't they? And they'll just do alright in 14th.
Yeah. So moving on to 13th
Did
now.
you put West Brom in 13th or not?
Sorry?
Did you put West Brom in 13th?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm slightly higher. Moving on to my 13th. This is where I've got Stoke.
Okay.
I've got I'm sort of, I'm thinking low mid-table again, like sort of thing. Like losing Natovic could be a struggle, but I think they'll still be okay. I think Zuma, like he's brought him in as a lone centre half sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that could be good. I think because I think the aim of the thing is always like, what's the cliche, like you want to go to Stoke on a Rangers Tuesday night or something.
Yeah.
It's like a bad stadium to go to. But I think obviously I think maybe that maybe defensive, like there was a few defensive frailties last season. Like I think I think Spurs went there and scored 4. I think someone else went there and scored 4 maybe.
Teams are when Spurs 4-0 up at half time or something like that. Because I know, like I said, they still need defenders. They've got Shawcross, who maybe isn't all that. They've got Zuma. Apart from that,
Yeah, I think the only thing.
Good keeper, Jack Butland.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be okay. Obviously, losing Natovic could be a struggle, but I don't think it'd be too much hassle.
They've brought in
okay.
Darren Fletcher as well, haven't they, from West Brom?
Yeah, that could tidy centre midfielder. Yeah,
decent
could be
centre
okay.
midfielders. Yeah.
So moving on to your 13th.
I've gone with Palace. Like you say, De Boer's a good manager. I think he's going to get the best out of Zaha, especially. Benteke scores goals if he's used properly. I reckon they still need a couple of defenders. Obviously got Scott Dan there.
Yeah, Sacco played a good role there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kelly played centre half last year.
Yeah, Schlupp plays centre half as well a bit. I think if they get Sacco, that'd be good, but I don't see that happening because Liverpool asking for like 30 million or whatever. I don't think they're going to play that out. They got Ruben Loftus-Cheek there as well, haven't they, from Chelsea? He's on loan. He's a good player. Hopefully he can break into the Chelsea team. He seemed like he was going to. Surprised he's gone out on loan, but yeah, they're going to play nicer football. They're going to hopefully stay solid defensively if they can get a couple in. Also, they've got 2 good left backs in Van Aanholt and Schlupp, Kelly and Ward on the other side, and then they just need maybe 1 or 2 centre backs to be honest. But let's not forget anyone. But I think they're going to play nicer football. They're going to get the best out of Zaha, and I think they'll be okay. They're a good side Palace. Who have you gone with then for 12th?
That's where I've gone with West Brom. I'm thinking last year they finished hard in 12th last year. They got like a maximum points ever or something, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but then they've rolled over. I'm not quite sure where they finished.
But I don't really think. Yeah, I don't think they'll have that same season again because they seem to get a lot of results that no one would expect them to get. So I'm thinking there's no real problems there. Like same like mid-table finish like every year. Like Pulis he's got his way there, and I think he's sorted.
Yeah.
I think he's playing his 4 centre halves across the back near enough.
Yeah.
Like sort of I think he's got his squad there that he wants. Like Evans is quite a good player to have there sort of thing. Macaulay does well and that Olsen does as well. I think and obviously Brunt's like quite a decent sized defender to have as well. So I think West Brom just like the usual, like mid-table finish.
Yeah.
No real problems there.
In 12th, I've gone with Burnley.
You got Burnley. Oh.
Did you have Burnley to go down?
I've got Burnley to go down.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at Burnley is, if they carry on like last season, I think they will go down because they need to sort out their away form.
Yeah.
I think they've got like 1 win all season away from home or something.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. You can't go on like that. They sort out. They've lost Keane obviously, but I think Tarkowski's a ready-made replacement, good young defender. The players they've signed, I think, are good. They've obviously bought Waters in, like you say, they were struggling for goals. They've bought in Waters. If that's your view. They've bought in Jack Cork, good centre midfielder. Player of Jeff Hendrick. Robbie Brady's a very good player, very, very good player. I just think they've got a solid squad all round, to be fair. In that 4-4-2, hard to beat.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, I think, like I said about Tarkowski, obviously, I don't really know if he'll be the same replacement as Keane was, because I thought Keane was really good last year. I'd like goals, possibly. I don't know, like, obviously, I've sort of had the away form sort of thing, only one away win, but you sort of do question why that was. Like, obviously,
I know, it's a funny one, isn't it?
I'm
assuming they would have
you
worked
can't
on
really
it.
do anything about it. Like, I don't really see. Obviously, because I thought they went to Spurs and I thought they did really well. They deserved something from that game, but they lost 2-1. And like, obviously, they go to some grounds. I think they drew 0-0 United last year as well.
Yeah, it's just getting the balance right of the defence and attack,
sort of
and
thing.
setting up well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
obviously moving on.
like 'em.
My last team, like obviously in 11th, I've just gone with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Like again, like mid-table sort of thing. Like Ake strengthens the defence. I think they'll be fine next year. Eddie Howe, very, very capable, good manager. Done
good
well
playing
lately.
style, yeah.
Good playing style, and then obviously, I don't know, maybe was Wilshere that essential to him last year? Wasn't really, was he? Sort of thing.
I don't think he did what people thought he was going to do.
Exactly.
To be honest.
No, so like that's not going to be a big miss. I think in terms of going forward, Josh King hopefully needs to have a good season like he did last year for them to maybe get into the top half. Callum Wilson, is he going to be going back? Not too bad. Like that'd be quite good if he gets back.
Got Defoe, obviously.
And like Defoe as well. Benicophobe, yeah,
and
exactly.
they've got Mousset as well, that French bloke.
Yeah. So I think
good bunch of attackers.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Obviously, mid-table seems about right for Bournemouth. I think.
Yeah, they do struggle defensively sometimes, but like I said,
sometimes,
with Ake, sort that out.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
hopefully.
Begovic. My last team's Leicester in 11th. I think the squad's not good enough. Like when they won the league, you didn't sort of look at the individuals and be like, "Oh wow, they're going to lose Mahrez by the looks of it." But they do have that bit of quality. It's going to keep them above other teams. I think they've got Vardy and Iheanacho now up front.
Iheanacho,
brilliant partnership. That's going to be obviously Slimani's good when he fancies it.
How much do they pay for Iheanacho?
25 million. But he's Man City have included a 50 million buyback in his contract. Be good for Leicester if they get a few years out of him and make a £25 million profit.
Yeah.
Like I said, they bought in Maguire. I would imagine he's going to replace Huth with Wes Morgan being captain. Schmeichel's a good keeper. Fuchs, Simpson, I don't really rate that much, but he's solid enough, isn't he? Drinkwater, maybe on Chelsea. Hear about this?
Yeah, I heard about this.
Got the likes of Ndidi as well. Seems like they've sort of replaced Kante.
Can't see Drinkwater going to Chelsea.
No, I can't see him going to Chelsea. It's not right. That's not right, is it?
No.
But yeah, they've got Vardy and Iheanacho score a lot of goals. They just don't have the quality. It's like Drinkwater's not the best player in the world. Hoof's not the best player in the world, but they do have that bit of quality, just not the excellence that we saw them win the league with. So yeah, those are our tables. Do you want to just run through your top 4 and bottom 3 again?
My top 4, I've gone with City, Chelsea, United, Spurs, and in relegating I've gone with Burnley, Watford, and Huddersfield.
Interesting. So I've gone with City, United, Spurs, Chelsea as my top 4, and then Stoke, Brighton, and Huddersfield. Not Stoke. Swansea, Brighton, and Huddersfield.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. So there we go. I think that pretty much wraps up the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Check out all the other videos on the channel. Check out the White Lines Media Twitter and Instagram. Check out League One podcast as well. Our new partners lately. Some good lads over there make some good content. Let us know what your predictions are as well on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter and of course Ibs as well. Check out the other videos. Check out White Lines F1 as well. Hopefully some big things coming up soon. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.